What's up, everybody? I'm Victor Cruz, and I am joined by James Bradbury and Logan Ryan, two of my favorite guys on the defense. And we have Jim White here with us, Executive Director from the Covenant House in New Jersey. Talk to me about what the Covenant House is. Let everybody know what it is and what you guys do and what you've been doing for almost 40 years now.
One of the things that we do, our mission is really to get homeless kids off the street. There are a bunch of kids who are out there between the ages of 18 and 22 who find themselves homeless on the street. And if you're a kid on the street, you got to start making choices just to survive. You can really get yourself into some trouble. And so one of our jobs is to get kids off the street immediately and then provide them food, shelter, and clothing, and then begin to provide the services necessary and then move forward with their life.
You know, it's crazy. Everything kind of gets put in perspective when you have a child, right? Or even my experiences growing up, there's so many young adults I saw growing up that were homeless, that were just living, meal to meal, house to house, not figuring out. So how do you feel like your personal experiences will help influence the young adults at Covenant House?
Yeah, I would say football is a locker room filled with people of all walks of life. And even Vic, if you look at your story or James's story where he grew up or where I grew up here in Jersey, I mean, the odds for me to be in this position is extremely unlikely. I had to have a lot of hope, I had to be resilient, and I needed to have some helping hands. And I think that's what the Covenant House provides, is a helping hand, a lending hand to help these kids.
A lot of the youth, they're looking forward to eventually getting a job, and just me being able to help them navigate through that, whether it's building a resume, certain responsibilities that you get when you first get your first job, helping them through that, and just being a mentor.
Jim, talk to me about what's the steps that you guys take to getting these children into homes.
Yeah, well, the first thing is we have to let them know that they're safe, right? If you're a young person, safety is really important, and they need to know that this is a place where they can rest. So our job is to let them know that they don't have to worry about the day-to-day, that they can start to look beyond that. What's really important about our work, too, is that we need to recognize their goodness. They're intelligent, they're creative. We have to see their goodness, and then we have to try to work with them to build on those strengths and start to build a life they're moving forward. So most of them now have to kind of make it on their own, and we need to try to give them the skills necessary to get a job and to help them get an apartment. So we have an aftercare program where we help them move in and get them settled as well. It just doesn't end with getting them off the street. There's a lot more, because we need to help them stabilize so that they don't have to return to homelessness again.
Now I want to share this question to Logan. So what's it been like kind of working through and still trying to create an impact to the community and what you're doing all throughout these times with COVID-19?
Yeah, I think it's been super impactful and important. Like, think about it, 2020 has affected everybody in general. It's a struggle in people's personal lives. It's a struggle in our life. I mean, our day-to-days change on the field and how our routine, but that is this small compared to what these kids are dealing with. And you got to think beyond yourself and bigger than yourself. And I think you talking about people not having a place to sleep, people trying to find their next meal, that's much bigger than a football game. And I think we always got to keep that in mind. And I think these initiatives definitely humble us, and we got to give back with our platform and our awareness that we draw as pro athletes, and these kids looking up to us that come from all different walks of life. I think this is a great initiative to partner with the Covenant House and to help these kids and inspire them to hopefully, be successful in their own lives.
Jim, before we go, tell everybody where we can get more information on the Covenant House, where we can find you, Instagram handles, websites, whatever you got to give the people more information.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. I would like to do this if I could. I just want to thank these guys. We were going through a really difficult time at Covenant House when these guys set out to help us. I mean, Saquon has been with us, but also too, during this time, our kids were kind of locked in. We kind of were in quarantine, and we were able to Zoom with these guys, and they talked about resilience. They talked about, being true. And, it was also in a time when Black Lives Matter came to it, and 90% of our kids are of color. And for these guys to step in and to talk about adversity, I think it meant a lot to our kids that they care. I wanted to thank these guys for showing up and being there for our young people at a challenging time.
Now, of course, I wanted to thank them as well. I wanted to thank James and Logan, man. You guys are just an example of what high character guys look like on the New York Football Giants. So I appreciate you guys for that. And Jim, I want to thank you specifically for, you're just shy of 40 years of service to people that need you and people that need your services and your help. And you're a true beacon of hope in New Jersey. And I'm sure what you do ripples throughout different waves of the country. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys. We'll see you
Appreciate
around.
you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. 38 years, man. That's pretty special.
Great to see you. Go Giants!
Exactly.
Go Giants!